Hi, everybody. Good day, good love, and great light. It's Wendy here, bringing to you a light language oracle message today. So, the idea is that we give our grace and gratitude for the messages that our guides are about to bring us. And the and the codes of light through the languages of lights, help us integrate the messages more fully, more multidimensionally. Like Eliasma Sabashia, Lezimi Tashirakoya Bisimotora, Ojamiia, Alakatokiela, Sopotokoshe, Najana, Kilito, Shimijane Vialawa. I feel that when the light languages come through, it's as if the guides are accentuating the message. It's as if they're helping us more fully integrate the information. And this is very spontaneous. And I was actually looking over at the multitude of oracle decks to see which one kind of was calling to me. And I was just watching a friend's video, and she was talking about dragons and dragon energy and a few other things, Atlantis and Lemuria, and among others. But yeah, the Kosamishi. So I'm looking over here, and so the first one that grabbed my attention was the For the Love of Dragons oracle. So let's see what our dragon family and guides have to share with us today. And I absolutely love the colors and the image. And as I gaze outside, and it's hot here, so we're up in the northern hemisphere. We've actually got a heat advisory going on. We're in the upper 90s, but with the humidity, it's really hot, and that's Fahrenheit. And I know those of you in the southern hemisphere, if you're watching this, are probably in the throes of, at least in the beginning stages of winter. And isn't it so amazing to me sometimes when I think about the differences and the amazingness of our planet and how different it is in different places all over. I've been especially, what do I want to say, attracted to or vibrating. I've especially been vibrating. Oh, there it goes. I got this chill all the way through me. With the idea of Australia and my friends in Australia, and those of you who write to me on a pretty regular basis, thank you. So I think my heart right now maybe is with Australia. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it has something to do with the energies across the planet. Maybe it has something to do with extraterrestrials. One of the first things I heard was in Tierras Masha Netokuya Yeshu, like our planetary advisors, planetary management that will be assisting us. Mate from, I felt like I just saw an orb. And I got the chills again. Which usually has something to do with, when I'm in that vibration of the information flowing through. But I keep hearing something about planetary management, the Asokonia, Miolujo. There's a Sasani guide that I tap into, and I'm feeling her energy. And I feel like her energy is somehow focused there in that Australia area, the Konomesi Bishoroko, Shaniti Intebes Masoroko. So I'm not really sure why or how that may resonate with someone. Okay. The Playmate, number 16. The Playmate. And I've been doing a lot of painting lately. My channel has been obviously about light language and sharing my light language and how I do it in my daily life and activating others in their own multidimensional quests. And I feel like this painting has been a playmate for me, has been a playmate for me to be able to express more and more of my multidimensional energies. This miato kosimiasharakia sono zijana tua. The playmate, reminding us that we have playmates all around us. If you can imagine it, then it is so. And sometimes we take all of this ascension stuff and open contact, we take it very, very seriously. Meaning that we sometimes lose the joy in it all. Labite Vesmato, maybe inviting us to be more playful with the energy rather than being so serious about what messages and who's what and who's, what's coming through and where's it coming from. Be more playful. We're being invited to be more playful with the information that we're receiving from our guides in different ways because we receive it in different ways. And when we're being more playful, we receive more information. Those doors that we talked about before open wider. One of the things I love about this deck is the keys. How it's got the keys on the back. The keys, we are our own keys to our own consciousness. And oftentimes the key is playfulness and playing more with the energies and the entities. Let's see what other message pops up. The Adventurer and the Conjurer. To remind us all that when we're on an adventure, we're conjuring our own reality. We are the adventurers. Oh, and so the first one that came up was number 16. The next for the Playmate, the Adventurer is number 33. I love these images. 33. The Christ consciousness, I think about the 33 vertebrae, that the vibration of the 3-3 energy, just being playful. It was reminding me of when we're being playful, everything we do, we call it going on an adventure here, even if we're just going to do some daily errands. That's how we define it, as we're going on an adventure, because it helps us be more playful with the things that we have to do. And when we're being playful and adventuresome, we remind ourselves, and this is number 22, so we've got 22 and 33. And when we're being playful, we're reminded that we create our own reality. We are our own conjurers. And that if this message reaches you, it's because you conjured it for yourself. And your guides are here to remind you of that to be more adventuresome, and to remind yourself that when you're being playful, more playful. Whoops, I got stuck in the box. We're able to remind ourselves about, anything that we do, anything that we create has never been created before, because it's never been created by you. It's never been created by me. So whatever it is, it's never existed before. Never. Because There is no duplication of the perfect alchemy of each and every one of us and our playfulness and our adventures and how we express those adventures. Lisamotovish bi kisha tekilemo, polozono ujokoro zintaya, neshoto zivishara, ikai toro meato. We create our reality, lakone bishete, by our adventuresome spirit, by reminding ourselves that this is all an adventure that we've agreed to, no matter how it appears. And I've, in my own life, have things that have appear sad to me, and yet I'm reminded that we're all on the same adventure. And Lezimisata Kishonotavishbeata, that we're reminded of the magicians that we are, that because when we imagine something, it now exists. And even if we begin to make something, and maybe it's a recipe that turns out not like you expected, like me, maybe it's a painting that didn't come out exactly the way I expected it, but yet it's new because it's you, and it's something that just never existed before. And each and every one of us has that gift of creating that thing that's never existed before, no matter what it is. Even this reading, it never existed before. And the alchemy behind your participation in it creates a whole new adventure, a whole new alchemy, a whole new conjuring. Liasmasa, chokoshupikia, lizinishisha, komparoko spiratian taya, nazano, aki. I'm looking, okay, gateway popped up. Rilawasamate, shanokolina, aniki. This is a time of, this is the gateway, the key. We have the keys to our own gate. Lizmite visha. Oh, well, the one that turned over, sharing of yourself. And there it is. I wasn't planning to do this way in this now, and yet the sharing of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being. So we're also being invited to share of ourselves. Be generous with your gifts. Be generous with your love. Be generous with your imagination. Go for it. Do the thing that you've been wanting. Take that little adventure. Maybe it's just like me, sleeping outside in the backyard. Take that adventure that you've been wanting to. Maybe it's taking adventure, just trying something new, trying new food. Take the adventure. Share yourself. And I love the stripes. When I think about the zebra and its stripes, I think about how it's such an interesting animal, and it's the only animal like that. We are our own stripes. We are our own zebra. We are riding that beautiful polarity, that contrast. We're riding the adventure of contrast. And where and how can we share more of ourselves, that each and every one of us, as the emissaries of light that came to me, I don't know, over a decade ago, said, the light in you illuminates the light within me, and the light within me illuminates the light within you, and together we create a greater illumination, la kamisatafa, for all that is to explore and experience through us. Leshimiato kosoma, lintoro shonokova, sintijana sise. Show your stripes, show your colors, ride that adventure, understand that there's polarity here. Dalakanamasa, And these messages are for me as well. These are my guides talking to me through me as well. Lizmeshoro Kosimia Santoru Shana. I have been on a very deep inner quest, over these last, several years, but several months especially. And my adventures have been more inward, but yet also adventuring out into my own little creative world here. And everything that I do or draw or paint just reveals something new to me, and it feels like its own adventure. Exceeding expectations. And I think expectations are the one thing that I think we're all afraid of. We have these expectations of ourselves, and we're so afraid that if they don't turn out, if things don't turn out to our expectations, then somehow we failed. And I am number one goddess at that. When things don't turn out necessarily the way that I think that I am, I need to look at it more as the adventure and not as a failure. That if it didn't turn out the way that I thought it was, well, what an exciting thing to happen. Just like inventing the light bulb, he said, it took me all those tries, to figure out how to do it. None of them were failures. None of them were failures. I soar into excellence. When we share of ourselves and we go on these little life's adventures, and they could be just little internal adventures. Sometimes an internal adventure can be sharing of yourself in a new way that you never have before. And so many people now are, the energy of the human collective consciousness has been this idea of sharing more of all that we are, communicating more fully in a more meaningful way, and not just over the airwaves, as we say, but to share more fully in our own everyday adventures with ourselves, more fully in an action way. And I was thinking about Andy Dooley. You can look him up. He stood outside a couple days ago just to give out hugs, dressed in a crazy suit, and he really was afraid to do it. Was how crazy it was, and how would people perceive that? And yet, just watching him and watching people's reactions to him doing it gave me such joy, because I got to see the joy that he created just by doing it, going for it, going on that adventure. And I'm sure it was a life-changing experience for him. And you can find him all over the internet. And his Mike Dooley is his brother, and another longtime spiritual coach, and these massive asamoteje. But just that image of him following that joy, and I'm sure his expectations were exceeded that day, because he chose the adventure. He chose to be the conjurer and the creator of his reality. Last one. Communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. So there it is. Look at that beautiful clarification for us. Communicating freely. Communicating in any way that might mean to you. How would you like to express and communicate your multidimensionality more fully? How would you like to communicate from the depths of your being in a way you never have before? Lizmisha, kimala katavis matorushoka, izenesholo zobashono ki inti kiala lazanoto. And I am in gratitude to my higher self for allowing my imagination, our communication imagination, to create this message today, to communicate freely this message from the depths of my being. As once again, it was not planned, it was not rehearsed, just following that adventuresome spirit. Les moto shonoko, alaze e shanakila manoru, ala kendopoko sopashana, elazina itelo zomoto shokoa. And we hope, we know that these light codes, Naluvas Mate, are simply acknowledgments, reflections to you of your own light, of your own sharing of yourself, and how you ride that ride of polarity, of contrast. Levsmete, how can we see it as more of an adventure in a playful way? Lesmite janako ijanaki zenatide subaro bato. From the depths of all the parallel realities and all the multidimensional beings that I am, and that grace this day and this now in this presence with all of you. I am in deep grace and loving gratitude. Kolos Moshe, Mila Alaka Tayata, Mahala Iliato Koshano. Namaste.